Yeah, this is my cousin, Cory Jackson, born October 6, 1971. He was very well known in Compton, peaceful brother, and he was good with his hands. He can fix anything, and he was loved by many neighborhoods in Compton. From Tragno to Lantana to Palmer Block, all the neighborhoods. He was loved, and he had a very loving family. He was a good dude. He lost his life at a young age, and you know a lot of people was very upset about him losing his life. You know what I mean? Because he helped everybody. He was a very good dude, and he passed, and he had kids. You know what I mean? He had a couple of kids that were very upset about his death, and he was a very good dude. He was actually my favorite cousin. In '94 when he died. Actually, in '93, he talked about moving out of Compton. Because he just wanted a new scenery on life, and you know, I was advising him to move to Riverside. I think it would be good for him, for him and his family. You know what I mean? And this is my favorite cousin. You know what I'm saying? And I love him, and I miss him, man. And his brother miss him. I stay in contact with his brother. We talk about him all the time because a person that was so smart and so helpful. He basically had, wings on his back. He was an angel living on earth. You know what I mean? He was a great person. And he's well missed, you know what I mean? I was talking to Suicide from Lantana, and he was telling me how much he loved Cory Jackson. That he was known as CeeLo, but he wasn't into the gangbanging stuff. He was a very peaceful person, and he wanted to get people together. He wanted to get people to get along with each other. You know what I mean? He was a very nice person. He helped his grandparents. He did a lot for his grandparents and, the people around him. And, the world is missing out on a good person like this guy, man. He was such a good person, and I miss him myself today. I still miss him, and I cry, on his birthday. Because I miss him. He had a great father. His father is still not right because, that was his first son, Well, yeah, I think it was his first son, and he misses him a lot, man. And he cries on his birthday also because the world is people in this, people like this is needed in the world, and we all miss him, man. And this dedication is to Cory Jackson, you know what I mean? And a lot of people loved him. Yeah, Cory was so loved in Compton. One of the first Compton rappers put him in his, I believe, Better Ram video. And here's a little footage of him being in the Tidy T Batteram video, and I didn't even know about it. One of my cousins picked me up on it, and it cracked me up. He was in the one of the first Compton rap videos, and it may be a little distorted, but you can tell it's Cory because of that fucking Jerry curl. He always had that Jerry curl, man. And I miss him so much, man. When I seen his footage, it made me smile because, he was in one of the first Compton rapper Tidy T's videos and shit. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of the footage right here. Yeah, that's him right there sitting on the couch with the Jerry curl. he just put his head down right there.
Oh, yeah.
And that was one of the first Compton rappers.
Yeah, you guys are all right.
I thought it was a better round, but the video was called Just Say No.
You better wise
And
up,
there
kid.
he is right there with the Jerry curl. You know what I mean? He was what I call famous, man. He was a good dude in Compton, man, and everybody loved him. And he had to be in this video. Tidy T put him in the video and stuff, and I thank Tidy T for that, man. Tidy T lived around the corner from me on Aprilla. I stayed on Alondra. He stayed like right around the corner from me. And this is actually a mixed master Spade video, I believe, but Tidy T played in it. And, they put my cousin in there, man. And I thank them for that, man. I really do. And, I always be able to see my cousin, whenever I look at the footage of this video, you know what I mean? He had a small part of the video, but, it means a lot to me and his family, you know what I'm saying? Because, he played in one of the first Compton rappers videos, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's just a little bit of footage of him in the video, for us all to see, all us Compton, ex-Compton residents or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah, here's another picture of him and his crew, him and his swamp boys and shit, all hanging out, I believe, at the park, having a good time, man. Cory was a fun person to be around, man, and everybody loved him. I don't know any of the other people in the picture and stuff, but, that's Cory kneeling down at the bottom with his Jerry curl. He was known for that Jerry curl back in the days. He was always a cool dude, man. He could do everything. He could ride bikes, skateboards. You know what I mean? He was known to be able to pretty much fix everything. He can hook up sounds. He made homemade speaker boxes. He could work on cars. You know what I mean? He was my uncle's favorite nephew. You know what I mean? And me and my me and my brother was always jealous of that, man, because he showed much love to Cory. And you know what I mean? But I can understand why, because Cory was a unique person, man, and everybody loved him, man. And, he was a problem fixer. He can sit down and talk to you and fix problems. And, he wasn't a violent person, man. People, they called him CeeLo, and, he wasn't into a bunch of violence, man. He was a good dude. And he was well loved by his grandparents, who are still living today, man. And I know they miss him, you know what I mean? And every time I go to Compton, I pass I pass their house up, and, I just want to cry, you know what I mean? Because, I miss him so much, man. He was a good dude. He looked out for his family. And, even we stayed up the hill from him in Tragnew, and, he would always visit us, and, he was family, man. And I remember, going to Ascot with him. A lot of people don't know about Ascot, this younger generation, they don't understand, they don't know what Ascot is, but it was a place where they had go-karts and, they race remote control cars and dirt bikes and stuff like that. But his dad, Butch, would take us there probably like every other weekend, and he would let Cory drive. Cory was like 14 years old, and he was he was a driver, man. He learned how to drive at a young age, man. He would just Cory could do anything, man. That's one thing I could say about Cory. And I'm not just saying that because he passed away, but Cory was a smart person. And you can ask pretty much anybody in Compton. They all miss him, you know what I'm saying? And when they took his life, it's like they took an angel out of this world, you know what I mean? And we all miss him, man. We love him. And I wish he was still here, man. And I think the last time I talked to him was probably like 92 or 93. He had came to visit us in Riverside because we had just moved out of Compton and in Riverside. And he told us that he was trying to get out of Compton. He wanted to move out of Compton, and raise his kids and, do the right thing and get the hell out of Compton. But shortly after that, his life was taken, you know what I mean? For what reason, I don't know. I don't understand who would take the life of somebody that was so precious and that helped so many people, you know what I mean? And we all miss him, man. From his brother Seagram, his cousin Aunt, his grandparents, his father, my uncle Butch, you know what I mean, and others, you know what I mean. Especially all the brothers from the swamps, man. They miss that dude, you know what I'm saying? And he isn't really spoken about much, you know what I mean, because it's been so long ago, but we all miss him, man, as far as family. We miss him. We love him. And, you know, I cry, man. I cry when I think about him, you know what I mean? Because he was a good person. He was a very good person. Rest in peace, Cory Jackson, man. We all miss you. Fly high, man.